Greetings from the colonies, Canada to be specific. This is Smitty, and today I've got a British 24-hour ration pack general purpose. This one, you can't really make it out. There we go. Menu number 17. I chose this menu because it has some of the curries, and I love curry. Curry is fantastic. It is life. It is love. Other than that, I really can't remember too much what's in here. But this is a 2017 operational ration pack, ORP, and the troops call these either rat packs or compo rations, and that kind of comes back from World War II. The old rations for Commonwealth countries were known as compo rations. So no bully beef in here. Just grab my knife here. No, don't mind me. Excuse me, company. Here we go. There we are. Wielding a Martini Henry in my basement when it's 6 feet long. Guess I should have thought that one through. Oh boy, love this. I'm a little overwhelmed. This is my first 24-hour ration, and it's just like, wow. 84 grams of biscuits. This one is a grapefruit flavored drink powder. Look at all them tissues. 10 of them. 60 grams of hot chocolate drink. That's an orange flavor. Hey, well, that's cool. I've had this before, the fruit flavored energy drink powder, and this one's orange. Oh man, growing up, I've never liked sesame bars, and here they are. Coke bottles, 50 grams. Cheddar cheese flavored spread. Come on, Canada. If the Brits have this, we gotta have this. Let's step it up. Get that into an IMP. There's a little tutti frutti. Some barbecued peanuts from beyond the beaten track. Tuna and light mayo, right on. Vegetarian all-day breakfast. Look at these huge retort pouches. This was a chicken masala. And another one I wanted to try, the Moroccan-style beef stew. Tropical drink mix. Ginger pudding in ginger sauce. I'm sure that won't be overwhelmingly ginger. 580 calories in this guy. Dang. We got our teeny tiny little Tabasco. We got the menu list. This one's actually for box B. ORPs come in two different sets, box A and box B. The higher numbers from menu 11 up are box B. It goes to 20. So there's our menu list for the box B there, as well as a little feedback prize and draw system. Right on. The only thing I'm puzzling over is why they're using Canada's old flag. It's just so strange. So in the Ziploc, they have all the drinks and accessories. You have this massive spoon. This thing's huge. Like, that's a significant mouthful. But I find this super cool. It's like reinforced and really strong. Cool. You have 2 alcohol-free antibacterial wipes. We got 5 matches with the striker. We've got 2 instant coffees, English breakfast tea, typhoon tea. We've got 6 water purification tablets, 4 creamers, 4 white sugars, and 3 packs of gum. Right on, eh? This is a decent setup. Now I'm going to have to look at the menu and kind of just throw it all together and try to keep this video short. The one thing about these ORPs is that there is a ton of drinks. When you start going through everything, you realize, like, kind of creating a menu that you're like, geez, there's about, 4 of everything in terms of the tea and coffee, and then you've got 4 sports drinks. That cocoa at the end to really confuse you. A little English breakfast tea for breakfast. And we're in a reproduction British wartime mug. The Rombouts. Instant coffee. The one thing I like about these drink mix packs is that it actually calls for half a liter of water. Like, so you could realistically load up a canteen with that and probably not be too weak. Man, like sometimes you just want to kind of throw her in a water bottle and give her. I just want to get this out of the way. I've never been a huge fan of sesame seed snacks. Wow, calling in the artillery. Jeez. These sound a little crunchy. I'm kind of hoping they live because I really want to put them with this all-day breakfast. For the bigger chunks, I'll just use some cheddar cheese flavored spread. But this is a US product right here, imported for UK use. Vegetarian all-day breakfast. It smells great. Yeah, so it's got some soy-based sausages in here. You can't win them all. I've actually never heard about all-day breakfasts before. I had to Google it and be like, what the heck? Oh, beans and sausages and stuff. Cool. 4 little pretend sausages. So in addition, there's also like sweet potato, there's egg pieces in here, some onions, some red pepper, sugar, rapeseed oil. In Canada, we call it canola for obvious marketing purposes. This is a surprising complex little biscuit here. There's some sweetness to it, and the whole grains really lend to a robust little cracker. I've never liked the MRE crackers, just because they're kind of boring, but these ones have a good little crunch to them and nice little taste. I tell you, that's delicious. In rations, you never end up getting everything you enjoy, so you kind of take the good with the bad. I consider these to be the bad on this one. They're really sugary, really sticky, and really boring. And like the great comedian once said, Mitch Hedberg, what is a sesame? I'm not a tea connoisseur, so if I leave the bag in or do anything weird with tea, it's because I don't know what I'm doing. Per the usual, though, I mean, this whole channel is things that I'm doing that I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really add creamer or anything crazy to coffee or tea. I don't see the point. I might later, just because I bought them. I might as well use them. Use the Rumbouts coffee, rum. I'm going to go with Rumbouts. If I'm wrong, well, oh well. No, it's an excellent little coffee. I think if I added any more water, it would just be a waste. You know, but not bad. Not quite the grapefruit flavor that I was really expecting. This is very similar to the MRE orange flavored not fruit drink. Primarily probably just going on the basis of being citric acid for tartness and all that. Yeah, essentially this is pretty much just maltodextrin, dextrose, the acid, beetroot red for the coloring. I mean, that's all fine and dandy. It's not grapefruit, but it's not bad. I got a little hint of grapefruit there. Teeny tiny. This spoon is ridiculous. If you were to eat like a full chunk, I think you'd die. A little sausage, a little beans. I think I got an egg chunk in there now too. The texture's not fooling anyone, but the taste is definitely satisfactory. Very savory. It's kind of got a little bit of a meat-based sort of trickery to it. Yeah, you can definitely tell just biting into it. You're like, there's something weird here. Wicked though, man. Wicked. As always, I really enjoy adding hot sauce to this. The vinegar in it really brightens up a dish. Really fantastic. My first all-day foray into British rations. What a success. This is really good for a vegetarian dish. I'd eat that on the regular. Out of a can. Oh man. These little guys are actually pretty tasty. These were a surprise. I was kind of expecting them to be incredibly dense and very, very whole wheat, sort of heavy. And it was excellent. Paired up with the cheddar cheese spread, I am happy. Meh, but your mileage may vary. Really nice tea, decent enough drink. Ended up using some sugar and creamer. If you're a fan of that, you'll be a fan of this. I went ahead and used the cheese spread on the crackers, and then with the crumbs, mixed her into the main, and I'm telling you, this is, I'm really enjoying this. Alrighty. We're back here for lunch, or as some places call it, dinner, for whatever reason, even though that's supper. And the return of the old snowflake tray. Just because my wife is too busy with 2 babies to do dishes, apparently.
Hey.
I love you.
Uh-huh.
We have some Thai food tea. Apparently there's instructions for tea. I guess I've never followed them. So apparently to make your perfect cuppa, or cup of tea, let the double O's infuse with freshly boiled water for 3 to 5 minutes. Add milk, sugar, lemon to taste. I'm stoked about these. It's been a while. I like how this is in like a little Ziploc baggie, and oh yes, they are what I think they are. Takes me right back to the old candy shop, as the rap song says. So we have the Tutti Frutti flavored drink powder. And then we have our fruit flavored energy drink powder. This one's orange. This is by Off the Beaten Track. This also is for 500 mils. So this is pretty comprehensive. I mean, you have 2 liters worth of drink mix in this entire pack, which is great. So we got 85 grams of tuna. Nice little 144 calorie snack. A little light mayo, smells fantastic. 300 grams of Moroccan style bean stew. This is spiced tomato stew with chickpeas and cannellini beans. I hope I pronounced that right. Most of the 4,000 or so calories that come in an ORP are carbs, about 55% of them, and 10% protein, and the rest fat. I much prefer, you know, a little bit more protein and fat, to be honest, but I understand why. Okay, that just blew my mind. That smell is fantastic. Fine. I bought it, might as well use it. The old maxim goes. Now apparently, tea goers say you're not supposed to squeeze the bag because it'll get all bitter, but just to drive you crazy. Right, old Smokey? Haha. I'm going to try these before the wife comes down here and steals them. For those that you haven't tried these cola bottles, or Coke bottles as they call it, here taste exactly like Coca-Cola. Just a little jellied candy with sugar on it. A nice cuppa. You might notice I'm doing my very best not to have a fake British accent. You're welcome. I'd hate to subject you to that. I don't know why I don't usually put cream and sugar in tea. Because I always just have like plain green tea at home, and that's about it. This is actually a fantastic orange drink. The American MRE one just does not stack up to how good this is. I think the IMP one is very similar. The IMP orange sports drink. Very, very similar. You know, it just tastes less artificial. Ooh, ooh, that's delightful. I don't even know how to describe that, the old tutti frutti flavor. There are some artificial sweeteners in it. You know, maltodextrin, dextrose, that sort of thing. But the flavoring is pretty decent. You know, it doesn't seem so crazy. I love tuna. Look at that, you know. It's just the perfect consistency. If I saved those biscuits, I would have put them on here. But in reality, that's a beautiful thing about the ORP, is that you just can make your own menus. You can choose what you want to do. Maybe you save your biscuits for the stew. Maybe, you know, put a little cheese flavoring on this and you make like a tuna melt. I shouldn't even mention that. That actually sounds pretty good. For a canned product, it's very fresh tasting. And the mayo, the light mayo is, you know, it's got that nice tang. Now, I actually pronounce this mayonnaise. And most people are like, did you just say mayonnaise? I'm like, yeah. Most people say mayonnaise. That just seems wrong. Like on a hike or something, this would be just great to have on the trail. You might notice I'm using a MRE spoon. That's because I forgot to wash the spoon. And, you know, using the small opportunity that I have to kind of come down into the basement and try this, I didn't want to waste it yet on doing dishes. So I'll do twice the dishes later. So I suppose this isn't a true vegan main, because it does have salted butter in it. For a vegetarian main, and you might stick your nose up at the vegetarian main, but I couldn't ask for better. This is great. The chili peppers, the black pepper, cayenne, all that stuff, a little bit of cinnamon. Even the bay leaf kind of shines through in the ingredients list, which usually shocking. It's usually muted in canned goods, but this really does come out very fresh tasting. This is actually fairly well spiced, but I think I'm going to track down a Moroccan style stew and make this, because this is great. Once again, that little bit of vinegary Tabasco sauce really brightens the dish up. I think if you found like butter chicken or like ketchup spicy, you should avoid this one. Super cool. You're rehydrated, you're warmed up, you're full, you got your proteins, you got your sugars. Great. So I think with that, we'll move on out to dinner. Alrighty, on to dinner. We've got these barbecued peanuts from Beyond the Beaten Track. Ooh, those smell good. Hot chocolate drink, orange flavor. This one's for the wife. Oh man, that does smell like a Terry's chocolate orange. I'll give her a taste, but she's gonna love that. Tropical flavor drink. I'm imagining this is just gonna taste pretty similar to the other ones. And this time, I've got a pint glass. Now folks, I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones, but only the books. If you ruin the ending to Game of Thrones before he releases the books in like 27 years, I'll be really upset. Remember, I never spoiled the Red Wedding. Get some coffee 3-in-1 going. This is what you get for not reading the package. I thought this was a coffee 3-in-1. So used to seeing them in IMPs. Here's the ginger pudding and ginger sauce. Now I went ahead and warmed this up. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I think it'll be actually. Oh yeah, I think it was meant to be warmed up. That's a weird brick of something. And the chicken tikka masala. This is a quintessential British dish nowadays. I have read that tikka masala was initially chicken tikka, which is an Indian dish. The masala came along later, being more or less at the request of the British to have their meat served in gravy. That does sound a little too convenient, so I don't know if that's actually true. But I'm a huge fan of gram masala, like the spice mixes and all that. The smell coming off of this is just so good. Oh, like if someone threw this down in front of me at an Indian place, oh man, I'm telling you, I would be set. Oh, and it just mixes up perfectly. How often do you have a hot chocolate mix actually mix on the first go and not create just a ton of lumps? Cheers. That's like Terry's chocolate orange in a cup. That orange flavor with the creamy chocolate. Someone's gonna love that. The Nescafe Original. Typically drink this at home when I'm in a hurry. Don't feel like brewing up a good pot of coffee. I'm a little bit of a coffee snob. It's kind of like being a beer snob. You kind of forget about it when there's only one beer and it's cold. Yeah, that's good enough. I was expecting this to be more like a tropical punch drink, you know, the very, very red drink that's not really fruit. This actually smells really great. So unlike that grapefruit one, this one actually really has like a very tropical flavor to it, be it possibly mango or something like that. I really like this. This is pretty good. You know, the artificial sweeteners don't really muddy the waters and make it taste very strange. This one's my favorite. You'll have to pardon me, I totally forgot to wash that shovel scoop thing. It's like, here, actual representation of what it looks like. That thing's huge, man. I need to choke a man with that. So we're going to use the Canadian KFS. So those peanuts are nice and coated. They got a great flavor, great crunch, great texture. And actually a little bit of spice to them too. That's a surprise. A welcome surprise, I might add. Here we go, we got some chickpeas, rice in there. We got the chicken. This is why I wanted an ORP. Given the Brits' fascination with curry, which I learned on Top Gear, and that's probably my only data point. I think all of Britain is like Top Gear, really. You know, yeah, I think a little Richard Hammond, James May, and Jeremy Clarkson is in us all. So the rice is actually fairly soft. The chickpeas are a little crunchier than they should be, but overall, this is fantastic, guys. Wow. The creaminess of the sauce, the tomatoes, the herbs actually, you know, punch you. That's one of my favorite things I've had in a ration to date, I think. Man, you know it's going to be hard to beat the smoked meat and mustard sauce with the IMPs. This ORP, man. Let's try some of this. So that's kind of what I expect from a pudding there. I was a little worried that the ginger would be very overpowering. It is there, for sure. I mean, it's in the sauce, it's in the cake. But, you know, with what I understand of British food, being pudding, you know, being more or less a very moist bread product, this is pretty decent. My breath is going to smell like ginger for days, but it's not crazy overpowering. Renee recently had an IMP with a spice cake in it, and it's essentially this, but dry. I really think what they ought to done is got themselves a little bit of sauce, threw that in there, and that would have kicked that spice cake up. Well, guys, a fantastic ration, fantastic experience. I liked everything I chose for dinner here. I think I'm going to turn off the camera for a little bit, relax, think about this whole ration, and deliberate how I'm going to respond to Alright Eeyore's challenge. He really upped the game when it came to opening that chili with beans with the old tannerite. That video is going to be in the description below if you want to check it out, but that had me laughing like crazy, man. Wicked. But you're upping the ante. Now I got to really think about these openings. And if you're wondering about the gum, it's spearmint, but I'm going to save it for later. I mean, the other gum, 2 pieces, fantastic, did its job. I'll wait on this. I mean, I think most people have had sugar-free chewing gum before. Like our good pal Alright Eeyore likes to do, he talks a little bit about the knife he uses to open this up. This one's a pattern 1876 bayonet, or bayonet common long. 22-inch long spike. It was manufactured by the Royal Small Arms Company, the Enfield plant. And it's attached to this weird tang known as a Martini Henry rifle. If you want to learn more about this rifle, go take a look at British Muzzleloader. He's got a huge breakdown of all sorts of Victorian age firearms, as well as a little bit more modern stuff. Fantastic guy. Rob is great. I think I'm done with the British stereotypes for now. But don't be a hoser, subscribe, and join me on the next ration review. Really excited to have you guys. Right arm, take care.